Good morning. It says that we are live. Alive, in fact. Living beings. Mammals. It's so awesome. Pardon me, it is allergy time. So, this week's Torah portion. Didn't know I'd be here again, everyone. This week's Torah portion is Tzav. And the Torah portion is interesting, can be interesting to somebody who has anything to do with Judaism or does not, or is a living, breathing mammal, human, or maybe another being that finds great interest in this, usually referred to as Old Testament. I've said for many years, Elder Testament out of respect. And it has many other names as well. And I've even said before, we don't even know if it's a book. But maybe that's a little esoteric to get started. So this Torah portion means that the Torah, which in a book context is the first 5 books of the Elder Testament, referred to as Torah, the Torah, sometimes, excuse me, is after it was available for human beings, whoever you thought wrote it or didn't write it or edited it or didn't edit it, once it was available for the public, as it were, many, many hundreds of years later, after that time, a group of people made edits and delineations and choppings up of the book itself. And one of those choppings up was making one section for every week of the year, so that people all over the world would be reading the same words the same time in the year. That's a whole conversation in itself, and maybe we'll do it. So that's where this parsha, this portion, comes from. And it's not an original delineation. Okay? So just to get us kind of grooving in here. This parsha is called Tzav, which most of the time, including in this translation that I have here in this book, is translated as command. Now, another way to handle this root, because biblical Hebrew or ancient Hebrew or Hebrew, pour lo general in general, is a root language, can also be seen or understood as join, as the root rather than command. And that means that the 10 Commandments situation, which also is its own topic for sure, could also be seen as the 10 joinings. Now, that to me is like a whole different ballgame. I mean, maybe it's not even like one sport to another. It's almost different worlds. The feeling, the context, the tone between command and join. So I'm definitely more interested in joining. I'm not very good at being commanded to do anything or commanding others. I don't like it. And it doesn't seem very godly to me either. Because, example, there are butterflies and rainbows in this world. Okay? So that is one presentation from this that I wanted to share is regarding the join. The next is a line that I have seen before. And when I started to read, and I also am not sure if read is the right verb, but just to be accessible for a sec, read the Torah portion this morning, I was like, I feel like something's coming that I've seen before, and then boom, there it was. So in the 5th verse, which verses also are an added hundreds of years later after the text was available. והאש על המזבח תוקד בו, לא תכבה. And then just 2 lines after that, we get almost exactly the same line, but a kind of a little, maybe like dusted off, which is Eish Tamid Tukad al hamizbeach lo Tichbeh. The always fire, the forever fire. The forever fire remains on the altar, and it does not be extinguished, does not go out. And when I saw it, I felt, oh my God, like exact timing. Eish Tamid Tukad al hamizbeach lo Tichbeh. The forever fire. The always fire. This translation says a permanent fire. I prefer my translations. Forever, because Tamid is like always. Tamid. Eish Tamid, the always fire. Actually, there is no the, pardon me. Always fire. Always fire. So it's like a always fire, an always fire. This timing to me is precise and apt, because what a glorious moment to be reminded of this truth. That there is an always fire that does not go out. Always. Always. Referring to truth. Referring to you. With the big Y. That nice big Y. Or whatever word that is your word to go in there, you know? Or maybe you don't have a word. Maybe this is the word, that there is an always fire. There is a forever going fire that does not go out. I'm going to take a pause from speaking. there are more amazing things that happen in this Torah portion, but I feel this one's such a big one to close with it. What it does for us when we remember almost something in our being, a remembrance. Oh my God. Woo! Oh. That there is a forever fire. Always. Thanks, everyone.